All right, what a do, YouTube? It's your boy MB, ready to do the daily breakdown of the S&P 500 on the futures market. So today is Friday, March 8th, 2024, and we had a pretty wild day today. We haven't had a day like this where you have a strong push to the upside and then a very strong rejection to the downside in a while. So let me show you how you could have caught both sides of this. So at 7:30, we had some news. We had non-farm payrolls and then the unemployment rate 1 hour before the market opened. So at 7:30, we had a strong move to the downside and a quick recovery. So whenever we closed to the high side, I was like, okay, we're probably going to continue to go higher. So we have a big push, and then we see some resistance up here. And then we had about a 50% pullback before market open. And then at 8:25, 5 minutes before the open, we hit the 50% mark right above the 30 moving average. And this is where you get your first entry for a bull flag. And so from here to the highs, it was about, 60 to 90. It was a 30-point move, so you could have caught 10 points anywhere in here and had a pretty good return. I caught a bit of this move, and then I ended up shorting the top. And normally it's really hard to short tops. You know, yesterday it didn't work out. There was a pivot point up here, but I also like to look at the 22 range chart. So without getting too much into how this chart is calculated, I had this trend line drawn, and we kept rejecting this area a few times. I actually use it on Daytrading, but it's a little bit easier to see on TradingView. So we rejected this area a few times before we had this sharp sell-off. There was a couple of other people that I watched that were also short in this area. So that was play number 2. And for this play, I mean, you could have held this for 10 points or the entire move to the downside, which I would have only targeted at the very longest about 40 points into this area here where this wick was. But we blasted through that. And I was getting a little nervous because we just kept selling off. I was wondering if it was just going to be one of those days where we just absolutely tank. But we found this nice demand zone right here. And this was pretty evident on a 4-hour chart. Let me pull that up real fast. All right, so I've got it here pulled up. It's kind of hard to see because of all these notes. But we had a big 4-hour candle. And it was also on this trend line. So this is the daily trend line. And so it was a critical area that we couldn't break below. And it ended up holding up well. So right where this bottom wick is on this 4-hour candle, let me try to zoom in real fast. That's where we found these buyers. And my bad, I actually forgot to include this part. So back to a 22 range chart, we have this trend line here that we had the bounce right there. So I extended it over. So you could have caught the bottom if you had entered in down here at the bottom of this trend line. All right, let me get back into it. And so we had a very strong reaction off of that demand zone. It was another 30-point move to the upside. But then we ended up losing some steam. This kind of area of support was acting as resistance right under VWAP. So at the end of the day, we had a bit of a pullback. But you can see that we're still on this trend line, which I had mentioned before in a previous video. These trend lines are subjective. You know, it could actually be down here, or it could be up here. I've had this one drawn here for a while. And so that's what I'm referring to on the chart. We're currently holding the trend line. So we're still in a bullish pattern. Hopefully we caught the bottom and we can continue to the upside. But that was pretty much it for today. I extended my green streak to 3 days in a row now, so I'm very proud of myself for ending the Friday very strong. So that's pretty much it. I'll do the best play of the week tomorrow, and then I'll catch you guys on Monday. All right, then, love you.